Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your TNA Slammiversary results and some birthdays in the TNA wrestling world. Happy birthday goes out to AJ Styles, turned 36 years old, June the 2nd, 1997. 1977, I should say. Former knockout champion Velvet Sky, aka Jamie Zentire, turned 32 years old. She was born June the 2nd, 1981. Back to AJ Styles' real name, Alan Neil Jones. Okay, James Storm, real name James Allen Cox, turned 36 years old on Saturday. He was born June 1st, 1977. Kurt Angle was introduced as the second member of the TNA Hall of Fame. My buddy was texting me and said Hulk Hogan was the second induction. And I was believing him the whole time. He never did say who it was. I think he did finally say it was eventually Kurt Angle. TNA President Dixie Carter made the announcement at the Slammiversary pay-per-view on Sunday. Actual induction will take place during the October Bound for Glory pay-per-view. Okay, Styles and Storm were both scheduled to wrestle at the Slammiversary pay-per-view. Velvet Sky was not advertised for the event, though she was to be believed to be at Slammiversary Fan Fest on Saturday, based on her tweet indicating that some knockouts and fans sang happy birthday for her a day early. For those curious, while TNA is celebrating its 11th birthday on Sunday via Slammiversary, the first show was actually held June 19th, 2002. Oh, if you didn't know, you better call somebody. I just told you. And now for the Slammiversary 11 results. Aired live on pay-per-view from yesterday. Pay-per-view because I was at the TEW Paint It Black. I was supposed to have a dark match and my opponent didn't show up. He didn't have the funds to make a return trip, so he didn't try to make it to the event himself. The show opened from Slammiversary with the original total non-stop action opening and quickly shifted to an Aces and Eights video that focused on Bully Ray. Todd Kenley, Mike Tenay, and Taz checked in from ringside and also noted that the Spanish and French broadcast teams were also following the action. Christy Hemme stood in the ring and introduced the Ultimate X match. That was the first matchup. Kenny King versus Chris Sabin versus Suicide in an Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship. Today said this was the 13th Ultimate X match and the first time the match has been held at Slammiversary. Sabin and Suicide both went after Kenny to start it off, but it quickly settled into every man for himself. King caught Sabin with a high cradle suplex that popped the hot and impressive looking crowd. The announcer spoke of Sabin putting himself at risk by competing in an Ultimate X match shortly after returning from knee surgery. Tenay noted that Sabin competed in the first Ultimate X match back in 2003. Sabin performed a tornado DDT on King and kicked Suicide in the same motion. Then suplex Suicide onto King. Sabin made the first play for the X Division title belt, which was hanging above the ring on cables. Suicide cut off Sabin on the rope. Then King knocked Suicide off the top rope with a drop kick. Suicide made the first wire climb at 6 minutes 30 seconds in, but he was quickly pulled down by King, who caught him with a punch. Later, Suicide topped Sabin on the ropes and dropped him with an electric chair. King ended up making his first play for the title belt and stopped to mock the crowd, which drew some boos. Suicide pulled King down. Sabin caught Suicide with a kick. King caught Sabin with a kick. Suicide caught King with a running kick. The rapid-fire action continued, and the crowd gave them a loud TNA chant once it stopped briefly while the wrestlers sold their punishment. Suicide had a flurry. He did get a bit where he catches himself in between the top and the second rope and then dodged a charging Sabin. He eventually caught both opponents with a kick off the ring apron and the wrestlers struggled to set up a Tower of Doom spot. They eventually got there, and it looked choreographed, but the live crowd ate it up, and they gave a fat TNA champ once they performed the big spot off the ropes at 12 minutes 15 seconds in the match. King and Suicide then climbed the wires from the opposite sides of the ring and met in the middle. King used his legs to tie himself up, and he was able to knock Suicide down. Sabre quickly climbed the wire and met King in the middle. Sabre flung King to the mat and then pulled down the X Division title belt to win the match. And Sabre defeated King and Suicide in the Ultimate X match at 13 minutes 30 seconds to win the X Division title. The beginning and the middle of the match was entertaining, but the last part of the match, starting with the Tower of Doom into the finish, were flat. The crowd was happy to see Sabre win, yet they were much hotter earlier in the match than they were at the end. Sabre winning the title felt premature, but I assume that they're setting up his moment to cash in the X title for a shot at the TNA title. Sabre, who was a bloody mess afterwards from a cut he suffered somewhere along the way, went to the stage. Hulk Hogan's music played. Hogan came out and raised Sabre's hand. Hogan had his burnt left hand heavily bandaged, and the announcers chalked it up to a recent accident. Hogan said he wanted Sabre to hear his Boston Maniacs. He spoke about Sabre being the future. He also said that the X Division champion will have a shot at the TNA title this summer, just as Austin Aries did at Destination X last year. Hogan said that they would love Sabre to have a shot, and he congratulated him. And then Sabre shook Hogan's hand, and they headed backstage. Hogan headed to the ring and said it was time for a Hulk Hogan business. He said Sabre was a great champion, but they needed to talk about what was happening at Slammiversary. The Aces and Eights theme interrupted Hogan. Mr. Anderson led Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff to the ring. Well, I guess this is your NWO black and white part of the Aces and Eights. Anderson used a mocking Boston accent to say Hogan loves Boston and Boston loves Hogan. That just tickles my giblets, as Anderson said. He told Hogan that he's going to be taller because he will be standing on a mountain of TNA wrestlers later in the show. Hogan said Anderson forgot that he was in Boston. He said no one in Boston is afraid of ghosts, terrorists, or three pussies wearing leather. Hogan told Garrett to shut up. He told Garrett that he was a bitch and his old man is a bitch. Hogan said Sting is going to punk out Bully Ray and bring the power back to TNA. Hogan said that since he's the general manager and you three are foaming at the crotch, they might as well get things started with a six-man tag match. Hogan told Anderson he would be in the match, and then went on to introduce their opponents individually. Hogan is working blue. The announcers even noted that it was Hulk Hogan uncensored, by the way, much like every wrestler who returns to TNA after a break. Jeff Hardy is growing a beard now. So we get Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, and Magnus versus Mr. Anderson, Garrett Bischoff, and Wes Briscoe in a six-man tag. Hardy did his usual pre-match routine by playing to the fans while standing on the ropes. Anderson attacked him from behind to start the match. Joe received a big hop when he tagged in for the first time and stomped on Bischoff in the corner. Bischoff tried to come back with a dive off the second ropes, but kept his control and kept his cool and walked out on the way. Magnus checked in and performed some tag moves with Joe. Tenay gushed over the progress that Magnus has made. Magnus ended up selling for the heels for the next few minutes. Hardy took the tag from Magnus and went on offense. Again a heel trio. Hardy caught Briscoe with a whisper in the wind and got a 2 count. That was broken up by Anderson. Hardy caught Briscoe with a twist of fate and went to the ropes for his finisher, but Bischoff tripped him up. Garrett then mugged for the crowd and then turned around to take an elbow and a kick from Joe, followed by a top rope elbow drop from Magnus. Joe headbutted Anderson and caught him in the rear naked choke. on the ramp. Briscoe low boat Magnus, but Hardy performed Swanton on Briscoe and Pinion. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, and Magnus defeated Mr. Anderson, Jared Bischoff, and Wes Briscoe. And I am giving y'all the results because I didn't see the pay-per-view, because I was nowhere around to see the pay-per-view. And courtesy of ProWrestling.net. Live crowd pleasing, 6-man tag. It was pretty predictable as far as the outcome is concerned, but the live crowd liked all three baby faces and was really into the offense. Joe was a lot of fun with the playful offense, which was perfect for this match. Granted, it's three TNA guys facing three aces and eights wrestlers. You think it would be more intense, but I don't have a problem with it because this was the Aces and Eights junior varsity team, just like the NWO Black and White. Backstage, Jeremy Boras said it's hard to believe that it's been 11 years since they launched TNA. He said a gallon of gas cost $1.60 back then. Kelly Clarkson won an American Idol, and cell phones were only used to call people. Boras brought in Joseph Park, who cut a promo until he was attacked from behind by Devon and Nux. Announcers questioned how he would compete after the attack. Park held up a bloody towel and smeared blood on the wall with his hand. Cue Abyss. Well, match number 3, Jay Bradley versus Sam Shaw in the Gut Check Tournament Finals. The live crowd could care less about this match. During their introductions, Shaw had a run of offense and then ate a big clothesline from Bradley, who pinned him. Chris Hemi interviewed Bradley on the ramp before the match. Jay Bradley defeated Sam Shaw to earn a spot in the Bound for Glory series. Heck, I didn't even know this match was even advertised at all. I mean, it was added. If this TNA thing doesn't work out for Bradley and Shaw, Spike TV can always give them a guest appearance on Tattoo Nightmare. The more polished worker won the match, but I fear that he'll be a glorified enhancement wrestler in the BFG series. Backstage segment, Jeremy Boras interviewed A-Double and Bobby Roode and noted that they are the only team in the four-way elimination match that consists of two former TNA champions. Roode reminded viewers and Aries that he was the longest reigning TNA champion. Then A-Double reminded viewers and Roode that he took the title from him. Roode closed it out by telling James Storm that his new partner, Gunner, is no Bobby Roode. And then they showed a video package setting up the TV title match. Match number 4, Devon with Nuts versus Joseph Park for the TNA TV title. Park didn't come out when he was introduced. Devon cut a promo about the Knicks beating the Celtics in the NBA playoffs. Well, let's go Bruins chant started. You're damn right. Devon told the referee to ring the bell, count to 10, and award him the match. The referee complied. After Devon threatened him, the ref counted to 10, and Devon was named the winner by countout. Devon defeated Joseph Park by countout to retain the TNA TV title. But after the match, Devon said he knew Park didn't have it in him, just like his brother Abyss just didn't have it in him. Devon said if Abyss was there, he could tell the referee to ring the bell and whoop his ass too. Moments later, Abyss's music played and he made his entrance. Abyss cleared Nuts from the ring, and the referee rang the bell to start the match. Devon with Nuts versus Abyss. Devon controlled the first 3 minutes of the match. Abyss made his comeback and caught Devon with a choke slam. Devon caught Abyss with a kick and then flipped him off. Devon ran towards Abyss, who poured the black hole slam and got the win. The referee handed Abyss the title belt after the match, and Abyss won in a 3-minute 45-second to win the TNA TV title. Maybe. Well, Taz protested Abyss winning the title on commentary. My guess is that Abyss doesn't get the title since Joseph Park was supposed to face Devon said. It's a dusty finish. Only this time no one will care if they take the title change away. A video recapping Sting beating Kurt Angle at Bound for Glory 2007 to win the TNA title. Taz continued to complain about the TV title change. He said it was not an official match. Tenay said Abyss is the official TV champion. Announcers set up the TNA Hall of Fame segment. TNA President Dixie Carter made her entrance. She got the Sam Shaw pop. There was a brief thank you Dixie chant once she was finally in the ring. Dixie called for the wrestlers and the staff to come out and stand on the stage. Dixie announced that Kurt Angle was the second member of the TNA Hall of Fame. Angle was all smiles as he walked to the ring and then hugged Dixie. An Angle video package aired, and Angle cheered up. Once the video concluded. Announcers joined the wrestlers in giving him a standing ovation along with the wrestlers on the stage. A loud "Thank you, Angle" chant started. Dixie spoke about Angle winning the gold medal with a broken neck and then crossing the line and giving TNA hope that they would make it. The fans then gave Angle a great ovation when Carter gave him the mic. A USA chant started. Angle said he was expecting it. He wasn't expecting it. He said he's had some awesome moments in Boston, but this has to be the best so far. Angle then thanked his wife and children. Kurt thanked Dixie, Serge, and Dixie's parents for bringing him to TNA and making him love it again. Angle said he's very, very humble. Kurt said that there are a lot of guys on the stage, such as AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, and James Storm. He said TNA has the best roster in the world, and they make him look good. Angle thanked Carter and TNA's co-founder, Jeff Jarrett, as Carter clapped. Angle thanked the fans for being TNA fans. Say what you want, say what you will about TNA having a Hall of Fame or feeling that someone else should have been given the honor. Angle is certainly deserving, by the way. I don't have a problem with TNA starting their own Hall of Fame to honor people in their company after being in the business for a decade. The live crowd. The announcer spoke at ringside, and Taz said he was very happy for Angle. He said no one knew it was going to happen. Today said that there could not have been a more deserving honoree. Another Sting title win video aired. Footage aired of Sting arriving at the building from earlier in the day. Backstage segment again. Jeremy Borash interviewed Bad Influence. A video set up the tag titles match. Match number 6, Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez versus Christopher Daniels and Kazarian versus Bobby Roode and Austin Aries versus James Storm and Gunner in a 4-way elimination match for the TNA tag titles. Storm didn't wear a t-shirt or have his hamstring wrapped like he did on the Go Home edition of Impact. Chavo and Daniels started the match. There was a brief power showdown between Gunner and Hernandez that ended when they both were kicked from behind by opponents. Hernandez performed a double backbreaker on Bad Influence. Storm got involved in the action by whipping one of his opponents and then taking shots from Daniels in the corner. The crowd cheered when Daniels and Kazarian played to them. Then Chavo and Hernandez did running dives at him. Later, Hernandez performed a double suplex on Roode and Aries. Chavo took the hot tag from the weary Hernandez. Chavo checked in with some faster than usual pace offense on Kazarian. Chavo performed the Three Amigos on Kazarian. Daniel checked in and performed Angle's Wings on Chavo. Short time later, Storm performed a backstabber on Roode. Storm set up for the last call, but Daniels took one of the tag belts and slammed it on Storm's knee. Hernandez ended up performing a great-looking border toss on Kazarian. Chavo performed a frog splash. Daniels entered the ring and struck Chavo with a tag belt and was disqualified. There was plenty of boos over Bad Influence being eliminated. As Daniels was leaving, Aries rolled up Chavo and pinned him. So now it's down to 2 tag teams. So the match came down to Roode and Aries versus Storm and Gunner. Well, my favorite, since I haven't read it so far, would be Storm and Gunner. Roode and Aries isolated Gunner while Storm would continue to sell his knee injury from ringside. Gunner eventually no-sold for Aries and crawled to his corner where Storm was and had recovered and was waiting for the hot tag, but Roode went over and pulled Storm away, so he couldn't get the tag. Storm eventually checked in and performed his usual offense, not showing any signs of having problems related to his abdominal injury or abdominal surgery. Gunner catapulted Aries to Storm, who put him down with a DDT. Gunner went for the cover, but Roode broke it up. Gunner put Roode in the in what's called the gun now, the torture rack. But a double broke it up, and Rude caught Gunner with a spine buster. Then Aries performed a 450 splash on Gunner, who kicks out of Austin's pin attempt. Austin sold the kick out in a big way. Rude handed Aries one of the tag belts, but Storm caught Aries with a code breaker. Storm set up the last call on Aries, and Gunner put Aries up in the gun rack. Torture rack, and Aries apparently gave up as the referee called for the bell to end the match. So Storm and Gunner defeated A-Double and Bobby Roode, and Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez and Bad Influence in the four-way elimination tag to win the belt. I knew I was going to dislike the outcome once it came down to two tag teams that are made up of single wrestlers, but didn't Rude and Storm break up so they could be singles wrestlers? Let's face it, Storm has been drifting along without a purpose for months. So I guess this gives them something to work worthwhile for. Backstage segment again with Jeremy Borash, who interviews Brooke Hogan. It ended with Borash asking Brooke if she still loves Bully Ray, and she said that they would have to end the interview. The video set up the Knockouts match. Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell, the match of the evening, from what this report has said. In the last knockout standing match, ODB was the referee, of course. They worked intensely to start the match. Gail Kim applied the figure 4 around the ring post and let it go at 5 minutes in. Gail played to the crowd while ODB counted, but Taryn got back to her feet again at 7 count. Gail charged at her. Taryn moved, and Gail crashed into a chair, sat up between the ropes, and tumbled to the floor with a bump that made the live crowd gasp. Gail got back to her feet and back inside the ring. Taryn applied the figure 4 on Gail around the ring post. Gail got back to her feet again at 8 count. Taryn charged at her. Gail moved, and Taryn dove through the ropes and took a bump on stage. The live crowd gasped again. Taryn got back to her feet, but Gail swept her legs out from underneath her. Once Taryn stood up, Kim went for the pile driver on the ramp, but Taryn fought out of it and reversed it. Taryn bulldogged Kim off the ramp onto the floor at ringside for a big "holy shit" chant followed by "this is awesome" from the crowd. Taryn got back to her feet, and while Kim remained down for the 10 count. Taryn Terrell defeated Gail Kim in the last knockout standing match in 9 minutes 20 seconds. Very hard work from both women. They took some big bumps, and the crowd went from being casually interested early to being impressed by the physicality. The most entertaining knockouts match in TNA recent memory. A video showed another one of Sting's title wins. Video package set up the AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle match. They have roughly 50 minutes remaining in the pay-per-view for the big 2 matches. AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle was up next. Styles had new music that fits the mood of his current character more than his usual music. Chaz said Styles is a dead man for screwing aces and eights. Today recalled Styles and Angle teaming up at last year's slammiversary to defeat Bad Influence. Styles worked the match in a t-shirt that reads "No One." Styles got the better of Angle early. Kurt came back with a big body drop. Styles recovered and targeted Kurt's bandaged left knee. Styles performed a springboard drop kick on his knee. Styles applied a hold on the knee, and a short time later, that Angle broke by reaching the ropes. There were brief back and forth chants for both wrestlers. Angle caught Styles with a big clothesline at 7 minutes in. Angle sold the knee as he struggled to get back to his feet. At 9 minutes 10 seconds in, Angle caught Styles with a series of German suplexes. The crowd was kind of quiet aside from doing the "whoa" chant routine prior to Angle performing the suplexes. At 10 minutes 55 seconds in, Angle caught Styles on the top rope and performed a German suplex, but Styles landed on his feet. Angle quickly recovered and performed an overhead belly-to-belly that drove Styles into the corner. The crowd came live for those spots. At 12 minutes 20 seconds in, Angle caught Styles with an Angle slam for a 2 count that some fans were counting along with. Angle pulled the straps of his singlet down and went for an ankle lock. Styles rolled through to escape it. Angle went for the ankle lock again, but Styles rolled through again and applied his own new finisher. Angle slipped out of it and applied the ankle lock again. Styles reached towards the ropes, but Kurt pulled it back in to the center of the ring and lied down. Styles kicked Angle repeatedly to free himself at 14 minutes 30 seconds in. Angle missed a lunge in the corner, and Styles placed him in the tree of woe, followed up with a big drop kick. A short time later, Styles missed a springboard move. Angle rolled up Styles for the 2 count. Kurt went for an angle slam. Styles avoided it. They jockeyed for position, and Angle ended up mounting Styles with a double leg for the 3 count. Kurt Angle won in 15 minutes 40 seconds. Usual good match from Angle and Styles. Surprised to see Styles losing considering the freshness of his character. I'm curious to see whether there's a storyline reason to it. The crowd didn't have any reason to cheer for or against either wrestler, so they mostly sat back and cheered the moves that impressed them. They were quiet at times, so I guess they wasn't impressed because they've seen everything they've done before. But the wrestlers definitely had their attention. The announcer spoke about the main event at ringside. TNA poll was 64% in favor of Sting winning the TNA title over Bully Ray. Backstage segment, Bully Ray cut a promo with the TNA Championship over his shoulder. He said he's not sure Sting really thought about the no-holds-barred stipulation before he made it. Ray said no-holds-barred matches used to mean that certain moves were banned were legal. Ray said that there's one move that wrestlers still stay away from because they know about the consequences. Ray said that move is the pile driver. Ray said that's the move he was going to beat Sting with. Ray says he's not going to break Sting's arm or his leg. He's going to break his neck. The video set up the main event. Finally, someone points out the silliness of the no-holds-barred stipulation in his own way. Both WWE and TNA seem to hold no-holds-barred matches for no reason, since there are rare moves that are banned for storyline. Is there a difference between a no-DQ match and a no-holds-barred match? I'm not even sure anymore. Well, Sting made his entrance to a strong ovation for the Boston crowd. Bully Ray made his entrance from the Aces and Eights entrance area and hugged Taz before getting into the ring. Jeremy Borash handled the in-ring introduction for the championship match, which was match number 9, Bully Ray versus Sting, no-hold-barred match for the TNA title. If Sting loses the stipulation, he cannot challenge for the TNA title ever again. Sting attacked Bully Ray after the introductions to start the match. They went to ringside where Sting used the TNA title as a weapon. If this was real, I'd say that's not a good omen. They fought back inside the ring and traded blows. Sting got the better of the exchange. Sting had SoCal Val hand him the TNA title belt, which he once again used as a weapon. Ray returned the favor when they ended up fighting at ringside again. Ray tore Sting's shirt and slammed down with a pair of big slaps to Sting's face. Ray whipped Sting into the ring steps at 3 minutes 30 seconds in. Bully Ray knocked Sting down to the floor and then ran backstage. He returned with a chair. Okay. Ray swung and missed with the chair and hit the ring post instead. Sting grabbed the chair and gained control of the offense. Brooke Hogan walked out while Sting was slamming Ray with a chair shot to the back on the ramp. Sting then told Brooke to get back to the back. She complied. Sting went back to Ray and ate a low blow. Taz said it's a legal move in the no-holds-barred format. Back inside the ring, Ray struck Sting with several chair shots to the back and then kicked the chair into his face. Ray then pile drove Sting and covered him, but Sting lifted his arm at the last moment. Kinley tried to rationalize Sting kicking out of the pile driver by saying, Ray telegraphed it, so Sting was able to kick out. In other words, if you tell Kinley you're going to kick him in the face or balls, then do it. It shouldn't hurt him as much. Anyway, a table was set up in the ring. Sting and Ray in the had Ray in the corner and fired shots at him, but Ray picked him up and powerbombed him through the table. Once again, Sting lifted his arm at the last moment. 9 minutes 40 seconds in, Ray pulled out a knife. Yeah, really. Ray used the knife to cut the ring apron loose. Ray pulled back the canvas and revealed he said exposed wood. Ray pile drove Sting onto the exposed wood and covered him. Sting once again lifted his arm at the last second. Ray went for the move again, but Sting powered out. Sting went for a pile driver of his own, but Ray back body dropped him. Ray went to the second rope and missed with a senton. Sting performed the Scorpion Death Drop on the exposed wood. Sting covered Ray and had him pinned, but Doc knocked Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe hit the ring and broke the pin. Sting ended up fighting off all 4 Aces and Eights members and clearing them from the ring. How's he doing this? Taz asked. Sting beat on his chest. As the crowd cheered, Devon threw a chain in the ring, but Sting caught it and hit Ray with it. Sting had Ray pinned, but Devon pulled the referee from the ring to break up the count. Sting went out to ringside and hit Devon with the chain. Mr. Anderson showed up at ringside and gave Bully Ray the hammer. Sting dove off the top rope and Ray struck him in midair with the hammer and pinned him. Kenny played it up as the end of an era since Sting can't challenge for the TNA title again. Bully Ray defeated Sting in an all-holds-barred match to retain the TNA title in 14 minutes 20 seconds. I did predict the Aces and Eights interference because I thought TNA wouldn't work very hard to come up with a better finish than that. I guess the TNA wrestlers don't like Sting since none of them ran out to help, even after every member of Aces and Eights interfered. Hell, they even stood over Sting and gloated to close the show for a couple of minutes, and still no one ran out. What a weak finish to a crowd-pleasing brawl. Come on, TNA, you got to have some type of defense for Sting. And that was my view of the ending to that match. Like I said, I predicted Aces and Eights interference, so the finish would be like that. But no one came out to help Sting. That's TNA's mistake there. Well, anyway, thanks for viewing. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for Raw and Superstars coming up.